10 years ago, I was this girl from Red Deer, Alberta, and I was a mess, like in my mind. I was so anxious and everything felt too much. And I didn't know if I could do anything. And 10 years down the road, like I don't know if it's age, experience, it's probably all of it, motherhood, everything. I just
Yeah.
feel like I can take on anything. Like if I can do this, like I can do anything. I feel so much more confident in my ability to do hard things and to, you know, I know that no matter what life hands us now, trades or hate or, anything, I just know that like I can handle anything that's coming our way, and I don't worry about the future anymore because I know that I can handle it, and I know I have an amazing husband beside me who's going to handle everything gracefully as well, and we have an amazing community. So
You're listening to Breaking the Ice podcast, a podcast that I created in 2020 to connect women within the hockey world. My name's Devin Dodaro, my husband's Charlie Dodaro, and we've played literally all over the world. We have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and let's just say hockey has taken my world by storm. What I've learned is that this community and these experiences are very specific, and you should not have to go through this alone. Through this podcast, I share the tools, resources, do's, don'ts, and what's helped me along the way while continuing to learn from each and every one of you. So lace them up and tune in for episodes twice a month. And make sure to follow the page on Instagram at Breaking the Ice Pod. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Breaking the Ice. So excited for today's episode. This was a super quick turnaround. I recorded with my guest, Stuart Skinner, on Sunday. This episode's coming out on Wednesday. I just could not wait any longer to get it out to you. It's going to be so much fun for you guys to listen to. Just chatting with her in real time as the Edmonton Oilers are about to go into the Stanley Cup Finals yet again. This is the second year in a row that these 2 teams have played each other in the finals. And if I'm being 100% honest, we're in this lifestyle because of our husbands. I think we can all attest that like it's the most fun watching your husband play hockey, obviously. And for me, I think during the season, at least because we play in Europe, we're not usually watching a lot of NHL hockey, but I actually do enjoy watching it. I mean, it is on almost every single night, so I could maybe do without as many games every night over the course of several months at a time. But it is actually really fun hockey to watch. And I always get into, especially the final round of playoffs, it's just so intense and there's so much on the table. Last year, Edmonton lost and Florida won. And it was interesting because I actually had a podcast that came out a few weeks ago with Marissa Lomberg, and her husband played for the Florida Panthers last year. So it was just so interesting to get both of their perspectives on, what that situation was like for them. Connecting with Chloe was so much fun. And I know there's a lot on the table for goalies in these kind of situations. I think a lot of it falls on the goalie if something doesn't go right. And yeah, we just get into all the things. She was such an open book, which I love. And I just love when people can come on and just be so authentic and truly share, what's true to them and speak their truth. And yeah, we had a lot of laughs. It was really fun. We chat about what life looks like behind the scenes for her in a playoff run that is this deep. Before we got on the call, like I didn't even realize it was June 1st. And I was like, holy hell, you guys. Like for me watching the playoffs from my couch, I'm like, okay, this hockey's been going on way too long because like our European season's done. Then you come home and like all the NHL playoffs start. It just is, I can't believe that there's actually people legitimately still in playoffs worth every second to be going to the Stanley Cup Finals, obviously. But that is a very long hockey season to do 2 years in a row. So we chat about that. We talk about game day routines, rituals, mom life, and what it really means to be calm in the chaos. So enough from me. Let's get into this. I hope you enjoy this episode. If you're listening today, if you're a significant other of a hockey player, or if you're an Edmonton fan, I would love for you to share anything about this podcast to your stories, showing support for Chloe for your team. It's such a good one. Enjoy. Obviously, this is such a busy time for you guys. So thank you for being here and penciling me into your crazy schedule. And I'm excited to just step into your world and hear about all the things. So welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm honestly honored. It's just so exciting and I'm excited to talk about everything.
Yes. So let's start with how you guys met. I was also looking at his elite prospects, which I always do because I want to like see where you guys have been. And you guys have been a lot of places. So I just want to hear a little backstory.
Sure, sure. So we met when we were very young. Stu was 16 and I was an older lady at 18. And basically, like, we met in Lethbridge when he was playing for the WHL. I was visiting for the weekend and he said that it was love at first sight. I was not so convinced because he was so much younger than me.
Little
18,
16-year-old.
literally. I was like, okay, you can't even drive yet. So,
Yeah.
so once he turned 17, we kind of started actually like dating and we never looked back. And we've been through so much. It's just so crazy. Like, you're right. We've been so many places and essentially just grew up together because we were so young when we got together. But yeah, we started in Lethbridge and I was with him through the draft and all of the exciting events. I had no idea what I was getting into when I met him. Like, I really had no idea. Like, he kind of tried to let me know. He was like, this is gonna be my life and my job, and I'm gonna make sure I make this happen. And I was kind of like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, it happened. And he was drafted to Edmonton, we were so thrilled about because it's home for him. I'm from an hour and a half down the highway from here. So
Okay.
it was close to my family and we were just really thrilled. But, the farm teams their ECHL team is in Wichita. So that's where we headed first. We were in Kansas for, it was like a year that we were there. And then we were kind of up and down for a few years between Wichita and Bakersfield. And we spent many years in Bakersfield, I think like 3.5 years in Bakersfield. And we have a very, very fond memories of Bakersfield. We love it there. And it kind of gets, people talk not so nicely about Bakersfield, but really it's like, it's California, like we were thrilled to be there. The people were amazing. We loved Bakersfield. And then, then we bounced up and down for a bit. Stu, was just trying to, obviously this was his main goal, was to get here. And there were many years or months or days that we didn't think this was ever going to happen. So it's so surreal that this is our life and that we're in Edmonton and he's playing full time. And yeah, it's been a long 10 years together, but It's been amazing.
No, I saw that he was in several different leagues throughout the years and how amazing is it to look where you guys are now and he's literally the starting goalie in the NHL. Like, that's amazing.
It's just so surreal. I'm so proud of him. Like, he never gave up. We had really dark months where it was like, this might not be working or might not be, the future, or should we think about other things? But he always had his vision and he never gave up. He still doesn't give up when things get rough. So I'm just really proud of him. And it's so surreal that I got to watch him live his dream like this.
Yeah. And when you guys were in those lower leagues, how did that look for you with all of that movement? I know you were in Bakersfield for a few years. Like, did you have moments where you were like, I don't know if I want this to be what we're doing with our lives?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Stuart proposed when he was 19. So we were so young. And I remember we were engaged for 2 years. And in those 2 years, we were in Wichita and then we were kind of dabbling in Bakersfield at the time and back down in Wichita. And I genuinely, like, you know how it is, like they get called up in a day's notice and I was left in Wichita for a week by myself and this and that or whatever. And I'm so far away from my family. And I genuinely debated many times, like, can I do this? Like, this is so crazy. I'm such I need somebody around. I hate being by myself in the house. And I'm like, are you going to be gone all this? Like, when am I going to see you next? Is this going to be life forever? And it was just, I really had to think about this going into it. But obviously, like, my love for him outweighed all the crazy travel and the years that we spent going up and down and being separated at a random notice. And now it's a distant memory, which is so crazy because in the moment it felt, like it was like world ending when he would get sent down or called up and we were packing bags and running through LAX and, it was just nuts, but they're fond memories now.
Yes, I know. It's crazy because when you are in the moment of situations that feel so heavy, like it's heavy and it's
Yeah.
stressful. And then when you look back on it, I feel like it makes you so much stronger. Like all of the stuff that people go through in this lifestyle and like the unknowns and the lack of
Hmm.
stability, I think it makes you a better person and friend and more understanding. And also just like as a mother and like having to deal with all of the uncertainty, I don't know, I just think it really speaks volumes of like who can withstand this lifestyle because it is not for the weak.
No, and it's not, and you're so right. It really helped shape me as a person to be the best mother I could be, the best person, like the person I was 10 years ago before all of this. I like, oh man, I'm just like a shell of the person I am right now. And what I can handle now compared to what I could handle 10 years ago is just nuts. You're so right. It's really, there's nothing like a little out of your control, like being put in a position where you're like so out of control to help you
Yes.
feel just more in control of yourself and how you
Yeah,
react to things.
100%. I'm like, if you knew me then, you don't know me now, like
Seriously.
like at all. So you have two boys, right?
I do, yes.
What is their age gap?
So they're exactly 2 years apart. They're both January babies. So Bo came first, and then 2 years later, Darcy joined us.
Okay, so having your boys in the hockey world, how has that been for you? Becoming a mom, adding little kids into the mix, because beforehand you're just kind of dealing with these situations as like a couple, and obviously you guys have had more stability over the last few years. But what has that felt like? Been like the road trips, all the things?
Man, it's been life changing to have the boys around. But, again, another total self transformation was when I became a mother. Like 3 years ago, I don't recognize her. Like, who is she? I don't know. But having kids in this lifestyle, it is, oh man, I don't even know how to explain it really that well, but it is so, the best thing ever is to have the boys a part of everything and to experience this. And I know that it's going to be amazing memories for them. But then in the same part, I'm like, wow, especially being in Canada, I'm like, this can be kind of a harsh market. And what are they going to be exposed to if they grow up here? Like, their dad is kind of someone who's talked about a lot. Like I don't want anything to affect them that way. And, that's where my head is most of the time with the boys. And Bo, like our 2 year old's already just so into hockey. And I'm like trying to like push him other places. I'm like,
Yeah,
you don't have to do
you
this.
don't have to
Like,
do this, okay?
yeah, like there are other paths in life, but
Yeah.
I know that he'll figure his own stuff out, and he's only two, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want this for my own kid. Like
Yes, totally.
but it's been crazy. And Stu being away all the time too and having to be a mom that first year was oof, it was tough. I don't have the I mean obviously I have fond memories of my first year of motherhood, but it was a darker time for me too because you it's kind of a shock to the system.
Yes.
And then to throw in Stu trying to find a place in his career and like establish where he wants to be, and then he's gone for weeks at a time. And I mean, we're all in this, what I'm talking about. It's
Mhm.
difficult and isolating, even though I do have like the most amazing mom group on this team. Like, truly, like, we have the most supportive women, and it's comforting to have them, but you don't have your partner a lot of the time. So it's hard to co parent when they're not around.
January too is like truly in the middle of the hockey season. And not to mention it's a hard time of year, especially probably where you are in the world, just cold.
Yes.
It's
Dark.
January. It's like I call it the January lull in hockey because it's like that time of the year where you're kind of missing like home. But yeah, and so just having a baby, I've also had two winter babies, so I kind of get that feeling. There's a lot of road games that time of year, and it's right before playoffs. So it's like, your husband's mind is in like multiple different places. And so did you feel like, obviously it was difficult. Do you feel like it was hard for him to come into that world of like, do you know what I'm trying to think of how to
Yeah, I do.
question exactly, but like when they're so little and they're not always there, it's almost hard to integrate all together as a family. Like, how did you
Totally.
guys handle that?
Yeah, with our first, it was Stu's first year in the NHL. But like, he was totally focused on something else and really trying to make his way in the NHL. And I, remember having all this guilt that like this baby maybe will stress him out more, or like maybe he's not going to handle this well. And like, what if this derails his career? Like, like looking back now, I laugh because as soon as Bo came into the world, he started playing his best hockey. I think it gave him this like purpose and like more of a drive to play for his boy. So I don't know, like it was hard, and I remember like really trying to steer the boat by myself because I didn't want to burden him with anything to do with being a parent, even though I know that's not what he wanted at all. Like he wanted to be fully in there. He was offering to do diaper changes in the middle of the night and like wanting to get up with him other than game nights. Like then he would put his little
Yeah.
earphones in and
Off the
like
clock.
block us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he really stepped up a ton, but I still just really tried to like shelter him from
Mhm.
the crazy newborn trenches and the baby trenches and
Yeah. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm pretty intentional about what I use on my skin, especially post-pregnancy. And one brand I've truly come to trust is Nema. After my C-section, I started using their scar treatment consistently, and it's made really a noticeable difference, not just in how the scar looks, but how it feels. Their products are super gentle, clean, and actually designed with moms in mind. Nema takes the guesswork out of postpartum skincare, whether you're healing from a C-section, looking to restore skin elasticity, or just want something that actually feels good and works. I'm a huge fan of their clean ingredient list, thoughtful packaging, and the fact that the products feel like a little moment for yourself, which, let's be honest, is hard to come by. You can use my code ICE for 10% off at nema.com. That's ICE for 10% off. You'll be glad you grabbed it.
yeah, it was a really hard time and it had a huge effect on me. Obviously, like I had postpartum depression. I was incredibly anxious. I was so miserable. Anybody who talked to me that first 6 months, I would say, I'm never doing this again. I will not be having another baby. This is
Yeah.
the worst. Like, I'm never going to do this again, which the second time around, I just made sure that I was fully supported in other ways, like, night doula. I was making sure that I had my sister was living with me. I wanted to fully support myself and make sure I didn't feel the way I did the first time and to just have the village instead of trying to do it by myself.
Yes, thank you for sharing that because
Okay.
it's something I'm also really glad that people are talking about more is postpartum. But I think especially that first time it's like a totally new thing. Like you have no idea what to expect. I don't think anybody expects or knows really what postpartum is. You don't know if it's going to hit you, if it's not going to hit you. And then throwing in just like the chaos and all the extra pressures and everything, like that's a lot. And
Yeah.
it just kind of goes back to that like mental load that you were carrying on your shoulders and like trying to be a supportive wife, but also like having so much on your shoulders, like that's really hard. And I can
Yeah.
imagine from his perspective, like the pressures of like his first year in the NHL and like trying to juggle it all and like how do we work together as a team? Because I think in that first year too, like it's very normal to have a little bit of disconnect like with each other
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much change and all
Yeah.
of that. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
When we were getting on the call, I was like, oh my God, it's June 1st. Like, to the girlies still in playoffs right now, like, obviously 100% worth it, but like, it's June 1st. Are you okay? Like, are you okay? You have two young kids, 2 under 2 right now. What is life? How are you actually doing going into June and still in playoffs again, 2 years in a row?
Right. It's so funny because it just is like these two opposite things live within me. Like I want nothing more than to be playing hockey in June. And I'm so happy and proud and this is amazing and the most exciting time of our lives. But also like, every game I'm like, it's kind of okay. Like this ends.
Right?
We
Like,
can
we're
go,
ready.
we can have a break. Yeah.
Exactly. So has it
Yeah.
just been like insane with the schedule and just probably a lot? I mean, because I at least I don't know how it really is in the NHL, but like in other leagues, I feel like you don't really know when they're leaving for the game or like how that all is. So is it just you're just kind of having to really go with the flow at this point?
Totally. It's all about going with the flow right now. And, what is there going to be a game 5, a 6, a 7? Are we buying tickets for who if this happens or if this doesn't happen? Do we need my mom to come this day if this game gets extended? And, you live in this like chaos for a few months and you're really running on adrenaline because it's just that's the only way you can get through it. And
Yeah.
that whole city is just running on adrenaline and the energy here is just it's like palpable. It's so intense and everybody wants the same goal and you're trying to juggle kids and a normal life, trying to keep life really normal for them, and dad's gone like every second day and it's really, really intense, but it's also just incredibly exciting. And I know these are, the times that I remind myself when I'm crashing out that, this is the time that I'm going to look back and think it was the, some of the best memories of our lives. And it's like once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime in this case, where we're experiencing this. So I don't
Yeah.
want to let it slip away.
So I'm curious how tickets look like for you guys. Like, do you get a handful of tickets for your family? Do you have to pay for all of them? Like, I was wondering about that.
Right. So we're very fortunate. They provide us a suite for the women, or for the girls and the kids. So if you choose a suite ticket, then you have to pay for lower bowl tickets. We get a somewhat discounted rate. Rogers Place is nuts.
I'm sure.
And then if you don't choose to sit in the suite, you get two comped tickets for the lower bowl.
Okay.
So if you want family to come, that is out of your pocket.
Do you have people like hitting you up for tickets to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think people quite understand that like we pay for the tickets. Our family, like they understand and they're very gracious and wonderful. But like we'll have like random people or people in my DMs being like, my kids are a huge Oilers fan. Can I get a couple tickets? And I'm like, it would cost me like $3,000, but no, so I'm sorry.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I can only imagine like people coming out of the woodworks. Like he also grew up there, you said, and you're not too far away. So people from like high school are probably like, hey, how are you?
Literally, yeah.
Not happening.
Hey, long time no talk.
Yeah, it's like, I know your intention with this. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's quite funny. We always giggle about it. It's silly.
Yeah. What does the team do for the girls while this is all going on? Is there anything special they do for you guys? Like, how do they make it a super fun experience?
Well, so they provide us with a suite, and we have a family room down in the bottom too, where we get together and, there's drinks flowing and food to eat and kids playing and mini sticks flying. And we really enjoy it. Like, it's so much fun. The suite is always bumping and the girls are always down to have a good time. Like, it's always high energy. Everyone's so excited. And it's really like some of the best memories I have is, being with the girls on game day and celebrating and going down to the family room afterwards after a big win. And yeah, it's really special. And during the playoffs too, like the family room and wives room, like there's the wives section and then there's a more of a family section, and it kind of opens up and everyone's intermingling. And, it's really like everyone's just so excited and happy. And it's, there's not a bad energy in the room.
Right.
It's just really, it's good. It's good energy.
Yes. And obviously he's the goalie. That comes with a whole other added pressure, which I do feel is like universally true. I can completely understand like how that is so stressful for like a goalie wife, especially like this is the highest level and the furthest point you can go with hockey right now is like the Stanley Cup Finals. Your husband's the goalie. How do you manage that emotionally? Like, how do you support him emotionally? Like, is it super stressful for him, or does he feel pretty like level-headed about the whole thing? That was like 10 questions at once.
No, it's good. I can work through that. I think that, this is our third year, and every year it's gotten easier. And the main reason is because Stu is the most laid back guy in the world. Like, he truly is just really relaxed. He keeps me so relaxed. He's really molded me into this way more chill person over the last 10 years. Like, I just wouldn't have been able to handle this 10 years ago, but every year it gets easier. And I know I have a strong belief that he's capable of doing this. And I also understand that it doesn't have a lot to do with me, and it's kind of his thing to do. Like, don't need to worry about him. I don't need to like be anxious about him because he's got this. Like, I can sit back and I can support him when he needs me to, and if he needs words of encouragement, I'd be happy to help him out. Or obviously, like, I'm his number one fan, and I just think, yeah, it's just gotten easier every year. That being said, I'm sure if you were to ask one of the girls, like me screaming in the suite at every stop of the puck, like, I'm not that laid back watching. Like, I'm known for the screams and the flying across the room trying to make a save for him.
Yeah.
But, when things aren't going well, like, it's hard. I don't spiral like the way I used to. I just think, we're going to come back from this, or he's always picks himself up. He's the most resilient person in the whole world. So it's easy to support him, and it's easy to be more relaxed because he's so relaxed.
Yeah, I was also thinking, well, you have two kids under two with you most likely at these games, so how much are we really watching here? Just but like, it's
Yeah,
perhaps
exactly.
a nice distraction from that, you know?
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And during the regular season, like honestly, the last 3 years I've been having babies or pregnant or postpartum, like whatever. So like the amount of games I'm going to is pretty slim. Like
yeah,
I really like I'm not making it to that many. And playoffs, like even playoffs last week, I missed like half the last series because Bo got sick and then the baby was sick and then,
yeah,
I'm missing out a lot. My life is very full and this is like a wonderful cherry on top. But
yeah,
yeah, like you said, the brain power is directed towards the kids most of the
yeah,
time.
exactly. Traveling with kids is no joke, you guys. And if you've ever tried to pack your entire nursery into a suitcase, you know exactly what I mean. That is where Rents for Baby comes in. They are a baby gear rental service that delivers everything you need straight to your destination: cribs, strollers, car seats, blackout curtains, beach gear, even sound machines. Whether you're headed to a hotel, Airbnb, or family's house, they will bring the gear to you and pick it up when you're done. They are currently serving locations in 32 plus states across the US, and they carry brands that we all actually use and trust, like Up a Baby, Nuna, Baby Jogger, Love Every, Slumber Pod, and more. No more traveling with bulky gear, borrowing questionable strollers, or skipping naps because you didn't pack the sound machine. Rents for Baby lets you show up, settle in, and feel like your baby actually has what they need, even on the go. The best part is you can get 10% off your rental with the code ICE at rentsforbaby.com. Seriously, this service is a game changer for travel season. Don't forget to use the code ICE at checkout. Will you be going to every game in this final round?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be. I've already arranged everything. My mom, my sister, the full team is coming on board for this next round, and
Yes.
we'll make sure that we're making all the games, and we'll fly out to Florida if we need to for a clinch or whatever. So we
Yeah.
make anything work for this round.
Yeah, and obviously you're like so close to like potentially winning the whole thing. As a family, do you just kind of focus on like the present moment and like we'll figure out our plans after once it comes, if it comes, or are you like planning or thinking about what you're gonna do if you win the whole thing?
Right. I think Stu and I are both very like in the moment people. I do believe in the power of manifestation. So of course I like fantasize and like envision ourselves winning and I can see it and I can feel it, like I can feel that. But we
Yeah.
really try to stay super grounded and knowing that it's just one game at a time and we're just going to get there. It feels less emotional this year than it did last year. I think last year it was like almost shocking, like we couldn't believe this was happening. And
Yeah.
this year coming into it, like we knew we could do this, like this was going to happen, and we're going in knowing that we're going to win and like this is going to happen. So we're just trying to stay really present and grounded, and but also we're manifesting on the side that the cup's coming home.
Yeah, exactly. Can you believe that the same two teams in the final again? Like, I feel like
Oh,
it adds even more of an intense, like, we have to win this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like
totally.
team, it's like this is like almost, I mean, it's a rematch essentially. Like, not probably,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's crazy.
Oh, like I just got full body chills. Like it's like PTSD because it was so heartbreaking. Obviously, game seven,
Yeah.
you go as far as you possibly can go, and to watch it was such a close game, 2-1, and to watch that, I'm still healing. My heart is still healing from it. So it feels a little like intense this time around, knowing that we're going back to the same team. But we have home ice advantage this time, so it's going to be different. Like game seven would be in Edmonton.
Okay.
And so it feels like, different but the same. And I think our team too feels different. We're just, again, like it's less emotional. We're all so focused and driven, like the wives, the guys, everything. It's like we all have this huge belief that this is like we can do this and this is going to happen and we deserve it. And the guys, they've worked so hard 2 years in a row and they're exhausted, but
They
they're
want
finding
it.
it in them. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bad. It's intense. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, and not to like go back to last year because obviously we want to manifest all the positive vibes, but it is so true. Like I obviously have these games on because my husband's glued to them every single night. So I'm like I'm watching them, I see what's going on, and like I think everybody just feels so awful for the team that loses that final game in the final round of the stand. Like it's a sad, and regardless of what league you're in and what team you're on, it's like when you lose and you watch your spouse like lose that, it's really sad. What was that feeling like for you guys? Because that's obviously like high intensity, high pressure, game 7. You're sitting there, you're so close, the score is so close, and then just to like have that just taken, like how did that shift like the whole room, the whole like what was that experience like?
It's so funny because I always like tell myself, I'm like, oh, it's just hockey. I really try to stay like level headed about all of it. Like it's just a game, it's hockey. Obviously it's our life, and it's
Yeah.
like a little more than just hockey, but I try to like ground myself in like it's not that big of a deal. But when you do get to that and you've sacrificed so much as a family, as you watch your husband sacrifice everything, and you're watching it and it's so close, like it really was like so truly heartbreaking to watch them all go through that. But I think, like I said before, I think we all just knew that this wasn't the end. Like we were going to come back. Like we have a special team, and we're going to make this happen. So while it was heartbreaking, and I mean, I think we're all still like healing, and it might be a little sore to be faced against the
Yeah.
Florida Panthers again. But I think we just, we really like leaned into that this is our time now, and that's going to be healing for us as a team and as families too.
Yeah.
But yeah, awful.
Yeah. Well, so we'll put out all the positive vibes for you guys. And then I was going to show you something. You're going to die. I'm just going to show you like super fast. But when I put up the question box that I was talking to you, so like normally I get like, a handful of questions for guests, and I incorporate that into the episodes, but I have to show you this. This is all for you.
My gosh.
Like I wasn't kidding. Like I literally got over like almost 100 questions.
Oh my goodness,
Insane.
that is hilarious.
And it was hilarious to me because a lot of it was from fans, which is funny because they want to know like all the things, right? Like they're like,
right.
What's your game day routine? What's your ritual? So I just kind of like pulled some questions that I thought would be fun, and I mixed them into like what I want to ask you. But a lot of people asked if you or your husband have any superstition.
Okay, this is so disappointing because Stuart is like the least superstitious goalie probably ever. Like he really is not superstitious at all. And like, our game day routine is like he obviously has his things that he does. He has the same meal and he has his 2-hour nap. But like other than that, like, there's no superstition around what he's doing, what he's wearing, how he like runs the day. Like it's all very different. I mean, we have 2 young kids, like things can get crazy during a game day, and he's just totally chill. And there's nothing, if something goes bad, he's not going to not repeat something because of something.
Right.
I, on the other hand, I'm not superstitious, but if I go to a game and I'm wearing a handbag or a pair of shoes and things don't go well, I probably won't wear that handbag or shoes for a while. Like I'll sage it, like move on for a bit. It's so funny because last year there was like a time for a few months, like it was like as soon as I would walk into the building, because I'd always come late because I put Bo down and then I would come, he would let a goal in like the minute I would walk into the building. And I was like, okay, that's it. Like I can't go anymore because like for some reason like I am like bad juju here. So, but then again, like I again try to stay a little grounded.
Yeah.
But we're not exactly superstitious, I would say.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fair. And hey, it's working, right? Like he's not superstitious and look where you guys are. So
exactly. Yeah. So now, is it superstitious now that we're like, that's a superstition? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Another question that people were asking is how you handle negativity and like meanness from the public, which if you want to elaborate on like anything that you've seen or heard or like how that's affected you guys, I would love to hear it because that was like a question that was asked maybe 10 times. So I'm assuming you guys have received quite a bit of hate being in the position that he's in.
Right. We have a very passionate fan base, and the people here, they live and breathe for the Oilers. And tale as old as time is that goalies, we're the goal, he's the punching bag of it. And this year definitely got intense. Like there was times where security had to be involved. Like I specifically, my DMs can be filled with death threats towards the kids, to myself, anonymous accounts. So it's anonymous accounts, people hiding behind their screens. Like it can get really ugly, people wanting threatening to come. If they ever see us, they're gonna, take us out or whatever. And it gets intense, and I'm making it lighthearted right now, but when I do read those, I do get really scared, and I do obviously worry for the safety of my family and my young boys. Like it's terrifying to think that there might be people out there who are going to hurt us over the result of a game or something. Like, it is a little deranged, but I would love for this to be public record too. Stu doesn't have social media. Like, he has the accounts, but he's not running them. He genuinely does not see what people are saying about him. And I think, the narrative this year is that, like, bullying works. Like, I see a lot of fans being like, oh, our bullying is working. Stu's doing so well now. And I just want to, put it out there that he's not reading the nasty comments that people say about him, and he has no idea. I, on the other hand, am just a girl, and I have social media, and I like to scroll through things.
As
So,
you should.
as I should. So, I do see a lot of it. I, spent a couple months off of Instagram this year because it did get a little ugly and I wasn't handling it very well. It's more of I'm the type of person that, like, if somebody is saying something like about my family or my husband or anybody, my close friend, like, I can't keep it in. Like, I'm going to say something. Like, I'm a little confrontational that way, in a gentle way. Like, but I just don't stand for that. So to have to, like, let people say what they're going to say and not have a big reaction or not comment back or not defend, like, my husband, it's really hard for me. So the anger was definitely building. I was getting really angry at people because all I wanted to do was just defend him and, like, say things. But the person who walks me off the ledge every time is Stu. Like, he's like, hey, relax. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, we have this haven at home where we walk in the door and, like, hockey doesn't matter what people's opinions of Stuart's game. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, we're just a regular family. So focus on that. Focus on the boys, on being parents, on being a couple. Like, and that always just brings me back. I also, on another note, is I have amazing girls on this team, like amazing mentors and women who've been in the league a long time who always have my back and they're always checking in on me. And I never feel like the team hates us. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to kind of like, oh, if everybody is thinking this way about Stu, like, maybe the team hates us, or like maybe my friends don't like me, or it's easy to fall into that, like, thinking. But I have a group of girls who always remind me that, like, hockey is part of our world, but, like, we're people and they love us and they support us and they want to see us do well. And it's truly, like, it's been such a life lesson this year, like, dealing with the hate and the ugliness, because it's really helped me just center down and be like, okay, like, people can say what they want and it really means nothing to me and my family. Like, Stu's going to keep showing up to work. He's going to keep playing games, and, like, people's opinions don't matter. Like, look at where we are again,
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad I asked that question, because I do definitely want to share this, like, on my page, because it's like there's no room for that. Like, it's actually crazy. And, like, when I asked that question, I didn't, like, go looking up, like, what have people said it. Like, I literally was just like, oh, like, assuming it was just, like, shitting on him for, like, a bad game or whatever. But, like, to take it to the extent of, like, death threats to you or your children, and, like, how would you not spiral about that? It's like, the guys are on the road a lot, like, you're getting messages, like, that's scary. Like, that's not just
it
like
is.
No worries. It's like, when you're reading that, you're a woman and you have children to, like, protect. It is, like, that's terrifying to be in the public eye,
is
where everything's so accessible. So it's like how do you not, you're fresh postpartum basically all of these seasons, and, like, really that's insane to me that I actually had no idea that people would do something like that for a bad game.
Yeah, and it's just so, it really is just so, I didn't know people did that over a bad game either. And I'm like, okay, like this just seems like, sometimes I'm like, am I the only person who's, like, aware that this is hockey? Like, I love hockey. It's our, it's our life, and we're so privileged, and it's amazing, and I love hockey. But, like, I'm not actively looking, I just don't understand the mindset of, like, attacking people's families over it. Like, it's a game and it's entertainment.
I always say this to my husband. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, obviously, like, you're a professional hockey player. Like, he plays in Europe, so it's not as, like, intense as it is for, like, these NHL teams. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, you're a hockey player. If I talk to a hockey player in any league, like, to me, they're just, like, a normal person. Like, I don't know, I just don't think it's like a celebrity in my opinion. I'm like, but I'm also like, could
Totally.
you imagine being like like an actor or a singer, like could like having that demographic? And I'm like, I could not, I don't, I think I'm too soft. Like, I would not be able to handle that, truly.
Oh God, me either. We talk about this all the time, actually. It's like, it's so funny, like the level of fame that Stuart has within the city of Edmonton. It
Yeah,
sometimes feels suffocating because, like, we can't, going to the grocery store is always an ordeal. Like, and it's
really.
amazing. And Stu is so lucky to have the
You're
support
like,
that
I'm
he
going
does
without you,
also.
going
Literally,
alone.
I'm like, actually, like, I want to do this today. He's like, oh, can I come? I'm like, no, you cannot. You're going to watch the kids. I'm going to go
Yeah.
because you make it too big of a stink. Like, we can't do anything. And we always talk about, like, imagine being like an A-list movie star. Like, your life would feel like so suffocating. And then to have the hate and the people's opinions, like, I don't know how people do it. I really don't.
Do people ever say things to you when you're at the games, or is it more like keyboard warriors?
It's funny, I've had a few experiences this year, but it's always been keyboard warriors. And that's where this year it's been different. It's like, I was at the coffee shop with my son and a man, who maybe recognized us where it's in our neighborhood. So people, who are around know that we live here and felt the need to say something about how terrible my husband's playing, or like to my talking to my son, oh, you better tell your dad to start playing better. And like,
Yeah,
and we're like, it's crossing a line. Yeah, it's yucky. And
totally.
it's like, I feel like, yeah, then all of a sudden now I'm already like maybe a socially anxious person and a little bit shy and hermity. And like now I feel like I'm being shoved in moments like that. I feel like, oh, that's it. I'm never going to leave the house. And like, this is too much. But then, again, the girls catch me and I have amazing people around me who are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, bring me. I'm coming with you. Like, we'll take this guy down. And
Yeah.
I have, amazing support system who always get me back out. But yeah, we do. This year's been different that way. Like some people have crossed lines and decided to say things to us and to my children, which is just nuts.
Yeah. Do you feel like that happens to like most women in the league, or do you think like being a goalie makes it more intense because people, like you said, kind of pin everything on the goalie when like it's maybe it appears that way when you're watching it, but there's so much more that goes into it.
Right. And I think that's what it is. It's just being the goalie family. Like
Hmm.
when I tell these stories to the girls on the team, they're always shocked and they're like,
Okay.
oh my God, like this is insane. Like, or like my DMs. I mean, obviously there are some girls on our team who get, a lot of DMs and like we can relate that way. But I definitely think being a goalie,
Yeah.
it's different. Like you just do get a little bit more hate.
Yeah. And kind of switching gears, but speaking of like the girls and the support system, like how do you guys all support each other through the hockey season between like the crazy schedule, the road trips? Like how does that look like for you guys?
So a lot of us live in like the same neighborhood or along the same kind of strip. So we're all really close. That somebody is always close by when the guys are gone, like I've got girls on either side that are like a couple blocks away. I
Mhm.
feel very safe that way. We see each other out walking all the time. We're out walking, getting coffees, run into the families all the time. So it's really a close knit community outside of hockey too, because a lot of us have young kids. Majority of us have young kids. So then, we're doing music classes together and gymnastics and soccer. And it's just like outside of hockey, we have a really amazing
Community.
normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the girls, like during the playoffs especially, there's always somebody hosting every away game and get together for watch parties and our pajamas and sweatpants and like it's amazing. Like we really are always making sure that there's something going on. People can always join in and you're never going to be alone. Like when the guys are gone, the girls always get together.
Yeah, I love that. And it makes the whole experience so much sweeter too, just like to the point you're at now. Like if you guys do wind up winning the entire thing this year, like having a group like that you can really celebrate with and know that like you've kind of been through it all together is so awesome. Like that truly
Yeah.
makes all the difference, and how fun for you guys to all be able to like celebrate that together.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be amazing. And we'll all just be like so happy for each other, when you know these women and their families and you see them outside of hockey and you know how wonderful they are and the people they are. Like I wouldn't be happier for anybody else like to win the cup. Like I want it for them. I want it for their families.
Yeah, I always like to ask this question, but if there's anything that you've learned about yourself over the last 10 years in this lifestyle, is there anything that comes to mind?
10 years ago, I was this girl from Red Deer, Alberta, and I was a mess, like in my mind. I was so anxious and everything felt too much. And I didn't know if I could do anything. And 10 years down the road, like I don't know if it's age, experience, it's probably all of it, motherhood, everything. I just
Yeah.
feel like I can take on anything. Like if I can do this, like I can do anything. I feel so much more confident in my ability to do hard things and to, you know, I know that no matter what life hands us now, trades or hate or, anything, I just know that like I can handle anything that's coming our way, and I don't worry about the future anymore because I know that I can handle it, and I know I have an amazing husband beside me who's going to handle everything gracefully as well, and we have amazing community. So I've just like without this world and this lifestyle, like I do think that Chloe would be still like in this little box and very anxious and shy and sad, and now I'm just like somebody who, it feels like a major gift to
Yeah.
live this life and to have blossomed into a more confident person.
That was so beautifully put. I love that. That was very well spoken. If you were to give someone advice that is maybe just starting off in this lifestyle, what would you say to them?
Man, what would
You
I
can think
say?
about it for a sec.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, no, no,
Oh my
no. Do
God,
it. It's
so
amazing.
true. So, and like to piggyback that off that really quick, when you were saying like, I don't know if like I want my kids playing hockey, people ask me all the time, like, can your kids get their like visa since they were born in Europe? And I'm like, I don't even really want to like tell them that that's an option because like I don't want them to move away from me, go play hockey in Europe, go meet someone in Europe, and then not live near me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
we don't need to like, just because this is our life, I don't know if I want this.
Yeah. You will not be doing this.
Yeah,
Stay close by. Yeah.
exactly.
For somebody coming into this, like, just stay authentic to yourself and grounded and know that, like, no matter what happens or all the crazy things, and it's going to feel world ending every second week that you're being sent up and down or getting traded or, whatever is happening. Like, it's not going to be world ending, and it's not going to, you're just going along the path, your journey, like, and it'll all work out no matter what.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so easy to get like wrapped up in those moments and think it's like so it's so overwhelming. You don't have control and like yeah, even myself looking back, I wish I handled certain things differently and just realized it's like such a small chapter of the whole story with hockey and like it always works out
Exactly.
the way it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good way of putting it. It's just a small chapter. Every world ending experience
Yeah.
is just a small chapter.
Exactly. Yeah, there are a lot of people that I think are really supportive and excited for you guys. And yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm sure it's nerve-wracking, but hey,
Yeah,
excited.
whatever is going to happen, and we're just going to enjoy the ride. So,
Yes, if someone wants to reach out to you, where can they find you? And I'll also put it in the show notes as well.
I mean, my most active social media is Instagram. If you want to DM me, I'm always kind of scrolling through. I do see everything. Whether or not I have the time or energy to reply, it's up for debate, but I definitely am always checking Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and good luck to you guys. I will be watching and cheering you guys on.
Well, thank you so much, Devin. This was so much fun.
Thank you.